What does home even mean now? Now that we are doing this travelling full time as a family? What does home even mean now? It's something that has come to the forefront, but it's something that I've asked myself quite a lot over the years. And it's obviously more prevalent now doing what we're doing. So, what is home? What is it? What does it mean to be home? That's what I want to talk about today. So, welcome here to my channel. This is where I talk about all things mindfulness within myself and my family life, and also while we are traveling full time as a family. So, yeah, I think home is something that I used to think about a lot, and I'll tell you why. I want to go back to my childhood, and I had my grandparents round the corner, literally round the corner, and I used to stay there every weekend. And I enjoyed it. I didn't think anything of it. It was just what we did. I didn't dread it. I didn't miss home when I went. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed leaving my home and going round to my grandparents' house every weekend. And then as I got older, I went on sleepovers to my friend's house. And it was weird because I used to enjoy going to their house and having sleepovers, and then I'd invite them to my house and they'd be like, I don't want to. I love my own bed too much. I want to stay here. I don't want to do a sleepover. And at first I got offended by it, but when they explained, they just like their bed and their home better. They're quite happy for me to stay over at theirs. I realised then at such a young age that there are differences of people when it comes to perspectives on what home is and what people prefer. So I did learn that early on. Fast forward a number of years later, I'm 19 and I'm working on cruise ships. I've left home again. And something that used to bug me and still does to this day is people used to say, and I could never do that. I could never leave home. I'm too close to my family, which to me implied I'm not close to my family. It's not what they meant. It's just, again, their perspective. But I took that to mean the opposite. I took that to mean, well, you must think I'm not close to my family and I can happily leave them. I could happily leave them, but I was close to my family at the same time. And so this is something that I'm reflecting on now, to think that I've always moved about. It's something I've always done and been okay with. And so I learned early on that home is where you lay your head. And I think that's sort of stuck with me. When I've reflected on this, like I said, I have reflected on this in my younger years. And that was the conclusion I came up with. Home is where you lay your head, whether it be your grandma's, your friends, a cruise ship, your boyfriend's house, wherever. That to me was home. So why am I bringing this up now? I'm 45 and I'm bringing this up now. Well, before we left the UK and did this and travelled and came to Malaysia, we went back to my roots, to my hometown of Redcar in the northeast of England. And I'd go back from Cumbria. So when I left my hometown, I got my first job as a physiotherapist in Cumbria. So I'd go back fairly often. I didn't have a lot of family there or anything. I did have the odd friend. So I would go back maybe every year, every 2 years, max. And every time I went back, it felt different, but it still kind of felt like home. Every time I went, oh, that's different, but it's still home. Now, I went from Redcar as a seaside town, so I went from living at a sea to living in the Lake District and had the lakes as my water, my body of water. So it felt nice that I was still by water, or accessible to water, but it wasn't quite the same as being by the sea. So I guess every time I went back to Redcar, it was like that was the constant, that was there. The sea was there, that North Sea, that breezy, cold North Sea was still there. And maybe that is what felt like home. Where I used to drink when I was a teenager, that place was still there, but it had changed. But the memories were there. Is that what home is? Is that what we call home? Memories of our childhood. So, but this last time was different. We went and stayed in Airbnb sort of over the New Year period and caught up with some family and friends. And that was nice. But I don't know if it was because we were doing what we're doing, or back then what we were about to do, or whether it just felt so much different that I couldn't call it home anymore. It was really strange. They had done some big renovations, or were in the middle of doing some big renovations on the seafront. For some reason, they knocked down Woolworths and they were putting this walkway through. A lot of money, millions of pounds. I don't really know why, but that's what was happening as I saw it last. And I'm walking down the high street, as with any high street now, though, right? They're all closing down. They're all something else. You know, big popular pubs that you used to go to when you were kids. Now as a hairdresser, you know. It just felt different, really different though, really different, where I didn't recognise it at all. And other than the sea, I just thought, this doesn't feel like home anymore. Like I say, I still don't even know whether that is because we were doing what we're doing. Maybe that's why. But it was almost like that last time I was in Redcar, I'd cut ties with it. That's it. Didn't feel like home. So it got me questioning about home. You know, we are now here in Malaysia, left the UK. It's been 3 weeks or 4 weeks now, getting on for 4 weeks. Still very early days, but we're not missing it. I'm not missing the UK. So you've got your home town, you've got your home country, and if you don't miss it, then what is home anymore? So it's very interesting reflecting on this and thinking about it. What are your thoughts on this? Like, what is home to you? Is it where you grew up? Is it where you live now? Is it bricks and mortar? Is it safety? I don't know. What would you say? Maybe it's all those things. Memories. Maybe it's memories. For me, I still think it stands what I said back in the day. Home is where I lay my head. But it's interesting. I also think it's about family and those that are close to you and being part of that family unit. That's always home, right? No matter where you are. And there's a sign on our Airbnb, a little frame with the words, "You put your arms around me and I'm home. You put your arms around me and I'm home." And I thought, yeah, that's nailed it for me. Wherever I lay my head and I've got my family, then I'm home. What do you think? What's your thoughts? I'd love to know them in the comments. If you like these kind of videos, you know what to do on YouTube. But if you'd also like to join my newsletter, you can find the link in the description, where you can also find my link to my Ko-Fi shop, where I've got a few PDF documents on there you might be interested in. So check that out. Much love. Bye for now.